Good evening, guys. The Braves won again tonight. It doesn't get old saying that. So I wanted to do a couple things. I'm really exhausted. Long rehearsal tonight. I'm getting ready for this this gig in Florida in a couple weeks. And I didn't realize till I got home, but I was just really exhausted afterwards. But anyway, I'm gonna try to, again, I've said it twice now, try to keep this short, not roll on to 10 minutes. But I wanted to talk about inversions slash chords, and this is not Guns N' Roses chords, this is slash chords, like D over F sharp, which is essentially an inversion. So basically a chord is certain notes out of the major scale. So if I'm looking at a major scale being like, right, like do re mi fa sol la ti do, or 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 1, right? The chord is the first, third, and fifth note of that scale. So, right, we should have all heard that before. In a real true, like, classical sense of theory, when the first note or the root note of the chord is in the bottom, like, lowest part of what you hear. So in a D chord, when the lowest note you hear is D, that's called root position. Simple enough, no matter what chord you're playing. If you hear the third of the chord, so like 1 3, if that's the lowest note you hear, first inversion. Okay, so the third, or in this case F sharp, that's the lowest note. Second inversion would be having an A, or the 1 3 5 1 2 3 4 5. When that's the lowest note in the chord voicing, lowest, like pitch wise, frequency wise. I'm gonna need some more coffee to finish this. I didn't really know how tired I was till I came home. Had to plug my phone up because it was running out of battery. And I started reading, and when I finished this chapter in this book, I just realized, like, holy smokes, I shouldn't have started reading because it just made me really super tired. Anyway, inversions. So oftentimes students will come to me and they'll see a chord symbol written, and they won't know what to do with it. A really common chord symbol is like a G, and there's a slash, and then a B. What that means is you're playing a G chord, a good old cowboy chord, G, right? But the lowest note that you hear in the voicing is B. Again, guys, girls, you gotta know where your notes are at. I'm gonna repeat this maybe every video. To learn where your notes are at, you have to know your chromatic scale, or the order in which the notes happen. On the fifth string, oh, this brings me to another thing. 1 2 3 4 5 6. This is not the second string. I know it seems somewhat counterintuitive because when you look at your guitar, the big string is the first one that you see, but it is not string 1, it is string 6. This little skinny string, this is number 1. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, not my point. What was I talking about? Slash chords. Okay, oftentimes you're going to see that in progressions, like if the chord progression is C, G over B, A minor. So if I play, let's say theoretically the chord progression is just basically C, G, A minor. If I play straight, like root position chords, just like that, it's all fine. But taking that G chord and putting the third of that chord, which is B, okay, the B would make it the first inversion because the chord is built of G, B, and D. B being the what's called the third of the chord. If you put that as the lowest note, you end up with, so the chord progression becomes, you hear it all over the place, right? When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, right? Speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Right, the Beatles use it all the time. So a slash chord oftentimes is just some sort of inversion. So yeah, I'm going to stop right there because we're already at 6 minutes. And I want to talk about two other things. I'm going to say something that might be really unpopular. And I'm okay with that. I'm not doing this to be popular. In fact, I've never been popular, so at 38, why would I try to start now? I don't like Prince. I never met him as a dude, so I can't sort of speak of his character. But I don't understand the songs. I think he's really talented. I think he could play guitar really well. I think he's a very talented singer. But, like, can somebody please explain to me these tunes? Like, I mean, you know, I've played Purple Rain, I don't know, 9 dozen times probably in my life. Purple Rain is his best song that I've heard in comparison to other music of the day. Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Stevie Wonder, extremely talented musicians and amazing songs. I would listen to Eddie Money gladly before I would listen to Prince. I have no idea what that music is trying to do. I'm confused by it. I don't ever want to be confused by music. Yeah, there's a lot of people, I would say artists, that I just don't understand. That I think if you're part of the music community, okay, Frank Zappa, another great example. I don't understand his music. It's bizarre for the sake of being bizarre. I think he's extremely talented. Obviously, his compositions are super technical. His lyrics are trying to be funny. Some of them are, some of them aren't. I don't think humor like that is really a place in music. I don't dig it. I don't like Weird Al Yankovic either. I find it to be silly and wildly uncreative. Anyway, and some people may say, yeah, but you know, Whitney Houston, she didn't write her songs, but you know what? She knew enough, if that was the case, to find somebody who could write songs, and she let them write all the songs. So anyway, the last thing I wanted to talk about was hydration. It seems like every time I see people, more and more people around the shop. I'm throwing away water bottles, not just the plastic water bottles. I'm seeing these great big like thermoses of water. It's sorry. I don't know. People are leaving their thermoses around, but the little bottled water. If two things about water. Is it possible to be are we overhydrating ourselves? I think the human body is built with a wonderful mechanism that tells us when we need to drink water. It's called thirst. I don't ever think that I should be drinking water if I am not thirsty. Not that it's going to be dangerous. I don't know. Maybe the jury's still out on that. But when I go to get a water bottle, a bottled water, can we leave me like this much space at the top of the bottle, right? If I knew anybody in the bottled water business, will you please tell them that I will pay the same amount to have less water in the bottle, because every time I open it, it just makes a giant mess. And God forbid I'm not driving, because it just gets everywhere. Hey, cat. So anyway, I'm already at the almost 11-minute mark, which I did not want to do, so this cat's driving me crazy. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing to the channel. And again, if you have questions, I'm supposed to tell you to leave them in the comments below. You guys can also, I'm pretty easy to track down and find. So you guys find me if you have any questions. Hopefully we'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.